Welcome to the Equipped Disciple channel. My name is Rick McClatchy. I will be your host. We are here to be and to make disciples of Jesus, and we do that through daily devos, through Sunday sermons, and through other discipleship resources. We are here to equip you to be an equipped disciple. Welcome into another day of your daily devo. My name is Pastor Rick, and we are jumping back into Genesis chapter 1. Pretty excited. Hope that you enjoyed our little kickoff yesterday. It was day number 1 in Genesis, and we only got through part of chapter 1. It's kind of a lot, so we wanted to take our time. And so today we'll be in part 2, Genesis chapter 1, verses 13 through 31. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. I did see the water creeping up just a touch, so we'll try to pay attention and not drown. Okay, so here we go. Verse 13, evening came and then morning, the third day. Then God said, let there be lights in the expanse of the sky to separate the day from the night, and they will serve as signs for seasons and for days and for years. There will be lights in the expanse of the sky to provide light on the earth, and it was so. God made the two great lights, the greater light to rule over the day and the lesser light to rule over the night, as well as stars. So it's kind of cool, even though in today's world, we got to have the sun and the moon to keep things going. But somehow, God has the ability of holding the whole universe together, even without the sun and the moon existing there. So even though He created the earth before He created the sun and the moon and the stars, everything stayed together. Verse 17, God placed them in the expanse of the sky to provide light on the earth, to rule the day and the night, and to separate light from darkness. And God saw that it was good. Again, that continues to come up at the end of each day. And God saw that it was good. And evening came, and then morning the fourth day. Then God said, let the water swarm with living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the expanse of the sky. Verse 21, so God created the large sea creatures and every living creature that moves and swarms in the water according to their kinds. And He also created every winged creature according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. God blessed them, be fruitful, multiply, fill the waters of the seas, and let the birds multiply on the earth. Evening came, and then morning, the fifth day. Then God said, let the earth produce living creatures according to their kinds, livestock creatures that crawl, and the wildlife of the earth according to their kinds. And it was so. So God made the wildlife of the earth according to their kinds, the livestock according to their kinds, and the creatures that crawl on the ground according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, let us, interesting, God referring to Himself in the plural, let us make man in our image according to our likeness. And they will rule the fish of the sea, the birds of the sky, the livestock, the whole earth, and the creatures that crawl on the earth. So God created man in His own image. He created him in the image of God. He created them, male and female. Verse 28, God blessed them. God said to them, be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth, subdue it, rule the fish of the sea, the birds of the sky, and every creature that crawls on the earth. God also said, look, I've given you every seed-bearing plant on the surface of the entire earth, and every tree whose fruit contains seed. This will be food for you. For all the wildlife of the earth, for every bird of the sky, and for every creature that crawls on the earth, everything having the breath of life in it, I have given every green plant for food, and it was so. God saw all that He had made, and it was very good indeed. Evening came, and then morning the sixth day. So He tells them to be fruitful and multiply. Be fruitful and multiply is the plan here. He's wanting us today to continue on that. I mean, there's, that's still the declaration. That's still the command. Be fruitful and multiply, both in the natural and in the spiritual. Go and make disciples, be fruitful and multiply. So we want to make sure that we're continuing to pay attention to that. And it's interesting how in today's culture, the further that we get away from God, the more people don't want to have kids and all that kind of stuff, because, well, obviously there's a number of reasons why people decide they don't want to have kids. But really, God's put it in man's heart to desire to reproduce, to be fruitful, and to multiply. He saw everything he made, and it was very good indeed. And so, and probably the other thing that I really want to land on today, like the biggest point from the verses that we've read today is, then let us make man in our image. God made us in his image. A whole bunch of that got broken up here by the curse of sin that we're going to read about shortly in the next chapter or two. But God's initial design was for us to be like him, to grow and to be like him, to represent him, to look like him, right? To take on his likeness. And also here, like from a worldview perspective, this is where, some of the most critical pieces of our worldview come from. The fact that we believe that man was made by God and made by God in his image means that every man, every woman, every child has worth and is valuable without doing anything, without being able to function, just because they are created in the image of God, created by God in his image, in his likeness, that we should rule the fish, the birds, the livestock, the whole earth, and the creatures that crawl on the ground. God created male and female in his image. So again, all people are equal in worth and value. There are definitely different functions that happen and, things that we're supposed to do. But it's so foundational right here to recognize man was made in the image of God, and therefore we have worth because God said we are worthy. And that's all it takes. And he saw everything, and it was very good indeed. And that's kind of where we get left off here at the end of chapter 1. We see that we're supposed to be fruitful and multiply. We see that we are created in the image of God. And, in his creation, God saved the best for last, right? Amen? Come on now. God saved the best for last. When he made man, it was the pinnacle, the top of creation, and we're supposed to take dominion over all the different pieces of creation. We're also supposed to do so responsibly, and we're also supposed to do that respectfully. We're not supposed to just, do whatever we want and be irresponsible and waste the resources that God has given us. Absolutely not. So be fruitful and multiply, take dominion over the world. And recognize that we're all made in the image of God, so we all have value. We're all equal, and that's how we should treat each other. We should treat each other as equals because we're all made in the image of God. Even somebody that doesn't agree with you, even somebody that voted differently than you, even somebody that is confused about how things are supposed to be, about something that's right or wrong. Like, we need to care for each other, and we need to recognize that we are all of equal worth and value before the Lord. All right, I hope you are encouraged today by remembering that you were created in the image of God. Male and female, all of us made in the image of God. We have worth and value. That everything that he made was made very good indeed. So tell that to your heart. The next time the enemy tries to get you on this belief pattern that you're worthless, that you're no good, that you're a failure, whatever the enemy tries to tell you to get you all off track, point him back to Genesis chapter 1 and say, By the way, when God created man, he created us in his image, and he created us male and female, and he created us and said we were very good indeed. So take that, devil, stick that in your pipe and smoke it, man. And so with all of that, I hope you are encouraged. God bless you today. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.